What's good? What's good, people? What's good? It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house. Look who I got with me over here to my right. I can't reach over and okay. So it's a little different this week. As I said, fam came to see me last weekend and whatever, so we was able to do it in tandem in house. But now it's back. Everything's back to the way they were. He's back where he is, and I'm here where I am, but we still got a show to do. So y'all want to hear these picks? So we're here for y'all. So TK man, how you doing, man?
Doing excellent, man. We've come down to the last two, man. Last 2 weeks.
Last two is correct. The last two. So we're down to week 17, which means ain't but one weekend left. Um, First of all, man, how was your holiday? Your holiday was good, man.
Oh yeah. Hung out, had a good time, watched some basketball. Always a good deal.
It's good,
Hmm.
man. It's good. Same here, man. Same here, man. We had a great one, man. And I try not to take these things for granted, man. So yeah, we had a good one, man. Got a chance to spend some time with family and everything, friends and stuff came over. It was a great time, man. We enjoyed ourselves. Everything was great, man. So all right, man. Let's get on to these picks, man. Record keeping purposes. Let's go ahead and understand that on last week, we apologize. We kind of had to preempt the show. Your boy stumbled into something I didn't know how to get myself out of, so we didn't get the chance to pick the last three picks. So we only had like 15 picks of the 18 that we had. We had 17. We had two college games, so we picked 16. TK and I both went 9-6. I mean, man, that's what it is, man. It's what it is. We did some good stuff, and it was some stuff we wish we'd have done better. But you know what, man? We got a chance to make it all better this week. What do you say we knock out these picks, man? What you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. All right, man. So just like last week, when the holidays come around, you have games on Saturdays and Sundays. So we got two games today. So the first of those games that come on our docket today is the. Ooh, gotta find myself. I get back to my screen. Hang on a second. Uh, Here we go. All right, our first game we got is gonna be coming on today at like 3 o'clock. So it's gonna be coming on here in just a little bit. 3:30, as a matter of fact. You got the Houston Texans traveling down to SoFi to take on the LA Chargers. This is an important game. The Texans are trying to keep pace with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we know that the Chargers are trying to keep pace with the Denver Broncos. So, um, interesting game, man, because Texans kind of had a tough go of it last week against the Raiders, who really aren't even putting their best foot forward to try to win games, and they kind of scuffle against them or whatever. So the Chargers, made quick work of my Dallas Cowboys, which I'm like, Um, I'm gonna probably take the Chargers in this game. Not that I don't think that the Texans are good. I think they are. The defense is probably the best defense in the league. They kind of scuffle offensively. Chargers are good defensively too, but they do have good offense. I think the Chargers may need this game maybe a little bit more because I think they really want this division. I'm gonna go for the Chargers in this particular game. What say you, TK?
Let's clash right off the bat. Give me Houston.
Oh shoot. Okay, we fighting. Give me no rationale for that, or just want to be contrarian to Uncle Fred. What is it, man?
A little bit of contrarian there, but also I think they're both motivated, both still fighting for their division, and both have solid defenses. So I kind of want to go out on a limb because I was low on Houston earlier in the year. They've since turned it around and leaned heavily on that defense, and I want to see Stroud come through in a big spot. So I'm gonna pick him and see what happens. See if he can do that.
All right, pick them and see what happens. All right, so we clashing right out the gate. So good game. I got 5 stars on this game. I would imagine the Chargers are favored by like 2 points or something like that. And I don't get the odds no more. So I'm just going by what I've seen in times past. So we're clashing on that. It should be a good game coming on at 3:30 on NFL Network. So make sure to tune in for that particular game. All right, me moving on, man. Any more on that game? No, we good.
Let's go.
Oh, okay. All right, man. All right, moving on. All right, so our second game of the day is going to have a lot of injury concerns, but normally would be a great game. I got 3 stars on it because of the injury concerns. You got the Baltimore Ravens traveling in Lambeau Field to take on the Packers. The Ravens, as we saw the game last week when they were playing the Patriots, Lamar Jackson out or doubtful tomorrow with a back contusion. And I think he's been listed as doubtful. Doubtful means there's a good chance you're not playing. So we got that. You got to factor that in. And of course, the Green Bay Packers will be without Jordan Love, who took a nasty hit to the cranium last week, and I knew he probably wouldn't be back for this game. So they're going with Malik Willis, and the Ravens going with Tyler Huntley. Both of them backups and been a year with both of their programs. Huntley been with the Ravens a few years, actually, off and on. How do you see this game, man? I'm going to probably go I'm going to probably take the Packers, man. Even though I got all the evidence to think that the Ravens could win this game, and they need to win this game because that'll make that Week 18 showdown with the Steelers more meaningful. I'm going to take the Packers, and I feel like I'm getting ready to have some contrarian played here. What are you saying? TK? What are you thinking? What, man?
I mean, obviously, if Lamar's in, then I'm a Raven, but that's not the case. So I'm kind of compelled to go home team, but let's clash again. Why not?
Okay. All right. We're both fighting here on the first 2 picks, and we're both fighting, man. Ain't that something, man? Any rationale for that, or you just say because they both down, they're starting quarterback, so it's not like any of them has an advantage here, although I would add probably that Baltimore depends on Lamar a lot more than they depend on Jordan Love, maybe.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a tight game, a little low scoring, a lot of field goals, and maybe it's a 16-13 Baltimore's way, maybe.
Okay, Jordan Love, John Williams. I'm just looking at the injury reports. Is there anything other than the people we've mentioned that's going to be? I think Christian Watson is out also, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That's a big loss.
Yeah. I know he got hurt last week. And so, but anyway, man. So we're clashing. He's going Ravens. I'm going Packers. Let's see what happens with that. That should be a good game too, but in a different way. So we'll just kind of see what happens then. Okay, now we move to our Sunday game. Sunday at noon, December 28th, 12 noon. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh can wrap up the AFC North division with a win over the Cleveland Browns. Won't be easy because they will be doing it without the services of one DK Metcalf, who got caught up into some sideline shenanigans last week, which has going to be sidelining him for the last 2 weeks of the season. And also will be without the services of TJ Watt, who has missed the last 2-3 weeks with a lung collapsing or something. So they thought they was going to get him to play, but he's not going to play. So those 2 are down. Of course, Cleveland, really nothing to play for. They got a good defense though. So this game's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot closer than folks think. I'm going to pick the Steelers, but I would not be surprised if the Browns made this a tough go. I'll look for Miles Sanders, Miles Garrett to maybe do what Michael Strahan did, took it off a former Green Bay quarterback, take the sack record off a Green Bay, former Green. You know, he plays for the Steelers now, but most of his career he played for the Packers, and we know that Strahan got the sack record off of Brett Favre, who basically laid down for him and kind of got some flack for doing that. But anyway, man, I'm gonna take the Steelers in this game, but I would not be surprised if the Browns, because it's a rivalry. These teams are about 80 miles apart. They don't like each other. It's been a rivalry for like several decades. I was gonna say centuries. I'm gonna take the Steelers though.
Yeah, I'm going Steelers.
Steelers, no fight on there. Are there any other injuries of note? Calvin Austin is out. Ooh, that's big too. Okay, Brandon Echols and James Pierre, cornerback. All of those guys are out. Man, that's kind of a lot, man. That's kind of a lot. All right, man. That's gonna make it even closer than I thought. But I'm still gonna stay with my pick. Sometimes when you get more information, you change your pick, like I did last week, and I went from Dolphins to Bengals when I found out that they're going with Ewers, and I was like, yeah, I'm sticking with the Bengals, but I'm gonna stick with my pick here with the Steelers, and we'll see what happens, man. But of course, if Roger had his say, Roger meaning Goodell, the Browns will win this game, and everything's gonna come down to that showdown, Week 18 in Pittsburgh between the Steelers and the Ravens. So we'll definitely stay tuned for that. Okay. All right. Our next game, 12 o'clock Sunday. The New England Patriots traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Football Jets. Patriots want to finish the season strong. They're 12-3. They don't want to get into any kind of late season histrionics. I think they play the Jets next week. Not the Jets, but the Dolphins next week. And they want to go ahead and wrap that division up. I think they can win this division. If they can win this week, they can probably rack up the division. They got a game lead over Baltimore. If they can win this week, I think they can win it. I think they got the tiebreakers. I don't think they'll have any problems with the New York Football Jets. I got the Pats. What say you, TK? Patriots. All right, man. No fighting here. Man. Jets are trying to keep their draft hopes alive or whatever. So we'll see what happens there. I'm sure the Patriots are favored by like 5 or something like that. If my understanding is right on how they usually score these things. All right, moving on to our next game. We're just whizzing on through these. You got the New Orleans Saints traveling to Nissan Stadium to take on the Nashville, Tennessee Titans. Look, man, Titans got them a win last week against the hapless Chiefs with no real quarterback playing quarterback. They was able to get a nice win, 26-9 over the Chiefs. Quiet as kept. The Saints have played some good football the last month of the season. I think they've only lost like one game in the last month. And I think they're trying to, set a culture. With Kellen Moore's trying to set a culture of what they're trying to do for the next year. With Tyler Shuck. I'll have to catch myself trying to say his name right. I got the Saints winning this game. Titans really trying to play for that. They don't want to lose any more ground in that number 3, number 4, number 5 pick, whichever pick they end up with. I got the Saints winning that game.
Saints.
Okay. Saints winning that. I think the Saints are probably favored by like 4 points, 3 points, 4 points, something like that at Tennessee. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't look for the much fight from the Titans on that particular game. But who knows, man? That's why they play the games. We'll see what happens. Our next game, I got a 5-star on this because I think it's going to be interesting. We talked at length about this in our pregame. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off that stunning win versus the Broncos last week in Mile High, or whatever they're calling that stadium now. They're taking on the Indianapolis Colts, um, who playoff hopes were dashed last Monday night when they lost to the 49ers, which they fought gamely, but wasn't able to get the 49ers off the field. I think they lost 41-27, if I'm not mistaken. The Colts really, I think, are misplaying this. I'm not sure how they're playing this in terms of who's going to start quarterback. Because really, if there are no playoff implications here, they really should start the young kid. One of the young kids, it certainly should be playing Richardson, because you got to see what you got in him, and you give him 2 games to see what he's got. But they're probably going to play old man Rivers, which I don't know what's the point at this point with no playoff implications. But I'm taking the Jaguars either way. They really thoroughly impressed me last week with that win over in Mile High, which many teams, that's where a lot of teams go to die, in Mile High. They don't win there. I think they haven't lost there in a year or so. And they was able to go in there and pretty much handle them. So I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning that game and staking their claim to winning the AFC South. What say you, TK?
Jaguars.
Jaguars, man. Jags, man. Been impressive for me. I've been impressed by them, man. They've been impressing me, man. I've been kind of waiting for that other shoe to drop, and it ain't failed yet. So we'll see what happens here. We both got the Jaguars in this game. Hopefully, the Colts kind of get their senses together and play Richardson. If the very least, play the dude they got from Notre Dame, play one of the young guys. There's no really advantage to playing the old guy, at this point. So see what you got, man. That's what these games are for if you ain't playing for playoffs. All right, man. Next game I got is you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Buccaneers really got to have this win because they took one on the chin last week against the Panthers. Now they're 1 game behind the Panthers at 7-8. They got to have this win versus the Dolphins. Dolphins are playing Quentin Ewers, so they're really trying to look and see what the young guys got. So they're doing it right. I'm not looking at any way that the Dolphins could win this game. Tampa Bay's got to have it, so I'm going with the Buccaneers to win this, setting up a showdown with the Panthers next week in Tampa for the division title. So I got the Buccaneers in this game. What say you, TK?
Yeah, I got Buccaneers as well. Buccaneers.
A lot of these games are shaping up for a showdown in Week 18, which is what your boy Roger wants, man. He don't want no team to have to feel like they can sit somebody so they can get rest for the playoffs. Nah, you're going to play all your guys because you're going to need that game. So we'll see what happens. We both got the Buccaneers in that game, and we'll see what happens and setting up that showdown next week. All right? All right, moving on. We got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Seahawks, I believe, are 12-3, maybe. I think that might be what they are. And of course, they got to stay pace with the 49ers and stay ahead of the Rams. So they got their own battles and their own enemies to keep at bay. So they really can't be too concerned with what the Panthers got going on, because obviously the Panthers, if they win tomorrow, they pretty much wrap up the division. But I don't think that's going to happen. I got the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks might be one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the NFL. I know that East Coast going to the West Coast at 12 o'clock thing is a thing. We'll see if that plays into the equation here. But I got the Seahawks winning that game. I got this as a 4-star game because both of these teams could conceivably be playing themselves in the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. But I got the Seahawks.
Yeah, I got the Seahawks as well.
Okay. Any chance the Panthers can pull an upset here? No, you ain't saying it. No chance.
It's always a chance, but I don't see it. But it's always a chance.
We'll be definitely watching. Definitely, if they do upset it, we're gonna talk to y'all about it next week. That's for sure. That's for sure. We both got the Seahawks. Seahawks are probably favored by like 3.5 or something like that, maybe 4. We'll see what happens. Okay, this game is just for entertainment purposes. I don't no playoff implications one way or the other. Just two teams playing the string out. You got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Cardinals, kind of been playing some entertaining footballs, not winning a lot of games. Only game they've won in the last 10 games is against the Cowboys. They've been losing every other game, but been kind of exciting and losing. They're playing Cincinnati, who will be playing Joe Burrow, who will be playing. And he says, I just got back. So it's me sitting. I've been sitting all season, so he's playing. So I look for the Bengals to put up points. They hung, I think, 45 on the Dolphins last week. I look for them to hang up some points this week against the Cardinals. So I got the Cincinnati Bengals in this game playing at home. What say you, TK?
Bengals.
Bengals? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a highly entertaining game. Not any, like I said, empty calorie game. Nothing going to really show anything about anything, but just some entertaining football. End of the day, these teams going back where they came from. So we'll just see what happens. So we both got the Bengals winning that game. So we'll see what happens. All right, man. That concludes our 12 o'clock game slot. So now we move to the 3:05. We got one 3:05 game, and it's a game that TK looking for. Me, not so much. Not so much. I'm not looking for this game at all, but he is looking for it because he likes the attrition bowl. He likes that, the fighting for the Arvell Reese Bowl. He likes that fighting for Caleb Downs Bowl. He likes that kind of stuff, which that's what this is, right? The fighting for Reuben Bain Bowl, you got the New York Football Giants traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Both teams are 2-13 and are fighting for that number one spot, number one in terms of getting the number one draft pick. And they have sent Crosby home. He will not be involved in probably any of the last two games. He is not too happy about that. Giants coming there, Jackson Dart and all the guys are playing. I got the Giants coming into Las Vegas and winning that game, and I feel like the Raiders will understand their assignment. I got the Giants.
I'm going with the tie.
Only TK would come up with that, man. If anybody has got any kind of conscience and then put this game out of its misery, do not let this game end in a tie. If there's 10 minutes left in the overtime period, give them 5 more minutes. You can't have a tie in the two worst teams in the NFL, man. Put us out of our misery, man. Let's give me a freaking gun and a freaking what they say. Give me a gun and a whatchamacallit, man. So no, man. No, just take me out back and shoot me, man. For this, let this be a tie. Only TK wants this to be a tie, man. So he ain't picking no game. You gonna stand on the fence on this one, okay? All right. I ain't mad at that because it's like whatever, man. Yeah. Not gonna be fun to watch, but we'll see what happens with that, man. But somebody's gonna walk away from this game with their number one spot, and they're not relinquishing that spot. So we'll see what happens, man. At Reliance Stadium, I think that's what that's called in Las Vegas. So we'll see what happens, man. Not gonna be the site of no good football, I promise you that. So, all right. 3:25. Game of the day. Game of the day, in my opinion. You got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Both teams, with some things to play for. Philadelphia Eagles probably pretty secure in that number 3 spot in the NFC. They're going to probably be the number 3 division winner. I'm not sure if they can move up to number 2 with a win and some losses. Maybe the Bears lose. Maybe they could slide down to number 3 or something like that. I don't see any way they don't win the division because no other team in that division is winning I don't think the Packers can't win the division, and it's the Bears division. So it's like, I know they play the 49ers, and so that's a game they can easily lose. And of course, the Bills still got their eyes set on winning the AFC East, because they're only a game behind the Patriots. The Patriots could lose, they could win, setting up a showdown with them, the Jets next week, and of course the Patriots taking on the Dolphins next week. So I am going to take. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills for a couple of reasons because they played the best football really in the AFC really in the last like them and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In my opinion, the last like month or so. Josh Allen is playing some good football. The defense is playing well. And I just don't like the Eagles. Okay, let me keep it a buck. I don't like the ass. I don't like them. All right. So yeah, I'm picking against them. I'm picking the Bills. I want them to go in there and hang a 40 piece on the Eagles. Probably not gonna happen, but I got the Bills, man. I'm just gonna be transparent here. All right.
Got the Eagles, man.
Got the Eagles. We fighting. All right, we fighting on that one. All right, so we'll see what happens. It should be a good game. I got it 5 star. That's the game of the day, really. That's really the game of the day. It could be the Super Bowl preview. It really could be. I would not be surprised if that would be it. Now I'd be mad because I was more sure that somebody else represented the NFC other than them, the Eagles. I tell you, Eagles in the Super Bowl, I'm doing that right there. So yeah, they don't want them. No, they can't be in the Super Bowl. But this is not a bad Super Bowl pick. I can see the Bills being in the Super Bowl because all the boogeymans are not in the playoffs. So nothing really preventing them from getting there. So we'll see what happens with that. Should be a great game. All right. So that's all of our afternoon games. Now we go to our Sunday night game on Peacock. Another good game. You got the Chicago Bears taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Bears are the NFC North division winners. Nobody had that on their dockets at the beginning of the season. If you kind of show me that or tell me that, you're lying. You didn't even have them making the playoffs, so stop it. But credit to Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, Caleb Williams, and all those guys. That good defense. They're just playing some good football right now in the NFC right now. I think they've got, I want to say they got 11 wins. I think they're 11-4. I mean, yeah. Who had the Bears with 11 wins? I mean, come on, man. So, and they're playing the San Francisco 49ers now. And the only team I think is playing better than them, maybe the 49ers. 49ers have gone like from November to like almost to the end of December. They ain't punted. Okay, if you watch that game Monday night last night, they didn't punt against the Colts. That's a good defense. All right, they didn't punt. All right, and for all these teams that like, oh man, we had injuries, man. The 49ers said, man, don't you talk to me about no freaking injuries. I got your injuries. Joey Bosa. Nick Bosa out for the season. Fred Warner out for the season. Mikael Williams out for the season. George Kittle in and out of the lineup, McCaffrey in and out of the lineup, Purdy in and out of the lineup. Don't you tell me about no daggum injuries. 49ers are 12-3, and it's like, shoot, talk to me about some injuries. I got your injuries. I got the 49ers, man.
Yeah, I got the Niners as well.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, man. But the Bears, man, I'm going to tell you something. As I said last week, man, this game going to feature two teams that love to run the football. Kyle Shanahan's going to run the football. And for what I'm seeing from the Bears, Ben Johnson wants to run the football. He's going to run that football. I've been real impressed with DeAndre Swift, and I can't think what that other running back's name is. They've been running the ball real well, making it, because a young quarterback, he got a running game. That just helps him, be able to process things, helps him be able to, play action and a lot of things a lot easier. So I credit Ben Johnson for, keeping that going and, installing a good running game. And they're very confident with that. And, even against good defenses, I've seen them able to run. They've run the football last week against the Packers. They can run it. So we'll see what they do this week. 49ers were very good at stopping the run against the Colts. I think they held Jonathan Taylor for like 30 yards or something like that. So it will not be no easy task. So they got their work cut out for them. So I got the 49ers winning it, but it could be a very interesting game. We'll see what happens. All right, that's all for our Sunday games. Monday night, our last Monday night game of the season. You got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta, Georgia, to take on the Atlanta Falcons. What do I say every week about the Atlanta Falcons? They can win against anybody and they can lose against anybody. You know, they could beat the Bills and, teams like that and lose to the Jets in like back-to-back weeks. The only team I know that can do stuff like that, right? But I think the Rams got a lot to play for because they know if they win out, because they got the I want to say the Cardinals next week. They know if they win out, they got a good chance to get in the number one spot. It's very fluid. They could win because the Seahawks got the Panthers and the 49ers the last two. The 49ers got the Bears and the Seahawks the last two. They could both split those two games, and the Rams could win their last two, and they can end up with that number one spot. So I think that they got that in their view. They're not going to be deterred by the Falcons playing above their heads, what they tend to do when they're playing good teams. I got the Rams winning that game. What say you, TK?
Rams.
Rams, man. But watch the Falcons play out over their skis because that's what they do. But I look for Stafford and Puka Nacua to do their thing, man, and win that game and set it up for next week and see who will come away with that NFC West crown. All right, man, that concludes our NFL game picks. But wait, there's more. There's more. We know as we speak right now, because I got a college game going on behind me right now. It's not got no college football playoff implications. I am watching Georgia Tech in Iowa right now. I think that's who I'm watching. No. Georgia Tech's playing somebody. It went there at a commercial. So college football is pretty big here. So I got 3 of the college football playoff quarterfinal games that me and your boy TK are gonna pick. So I'm gonna put them up for you right now. So we got the I think they're calling it the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic next Wednesday, December 31st. You got the Miami Hurricanes going up against the Ohio State Buckeyes, man. Look, man, I know a lot of people who are Miami fans. I sit next to a Miami fan at work, wears his Miami orange, Miami shoes, whatever. There's a lot of people like the Hurricanes. They was with them back in the 2000s, all of that, whatever. So it's a lot of people getting that fan base stirred up or whatever. Then you got Ohio State, just consumably probably the defending champs. Probably the best team in college football right now. I'm not saying the best coached or whatever, but probably the best, rolling out the best lineup. Certainly best wide receiver in Jeremiah Smith. Certainly on defense, 3 of the best defenders. I just mentioned some of them. Also talking about Caleb Downs and Styles, so we got a bunch of dudes on that team that are Arvell Reese, and like I said, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, and so you got a lot of good players on that team. So I got Ohio State, and probably not making it close because I feel like they're gonna Carson Beck's gonna end up on his back a lot, probably 1 or 2 picks in this game. Matt Patricia gonna have a nice game plan set up for them. So I got Ohio State, man. Ohio State, man. Go Buck. Not that I like the Buckeyes now, because I kind of don't. But hey, man, I think they're the best team, and I see them going in there wrecking shop, and we'll see what happens with that. All right, our second game will be the it's also the quarterfinals. It's called the Capital One Sugar Bowl. It's the Ole Miss Rebels taking on the Georgia Bulldogs in a rematch. They met about a month and a half ago down in at Sanford Stadium down in Athens, Georgia, and the Georgia Bulldogs came away with a come from behind win over the Ole Miss Rebels. Now we know a lot of water done went under the bridge since then. We know Lane Kiffin has since left Ole Miss, and he has hitched his wagon to LSU, taking some of his coaches with him, and we know a lot of the players are going to be going in the portal with him. Going to LSU, and we'll see what happens there. Now, myself, I'm probably going to be pulling for the Ole Miss Rebels because I feel kind of about Georgia the same way I feel about the Philadelphia Eagles. I do not like the Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, I'm not pulling no punches on that. Do not like Georgia, even though a lot of that stuff comes from Alabama. I get it. Kirby Smart comes from Alabama. A lot of his assistants came from Alabama. I get it, but just don't really like them, man. So it would do my heart good to see Ole Miss whoop them and come back with that. But I just don't see it happening. So I got Georgia, but man, I hope in any of these picks I'm wrong on, this is the one. I got Georgia.
Yeah, I got Georgia as well.
Take no pleasure in picking the Georgia Bulldogs. I promise you that. No pleasure at all. But I'm picking them, and we'll see what happens. Then, the coup de la resistance. You got the Prudential Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. You got the Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the Indiana Hoosiers. The Indiana Hoosiers, the Cinderella story of college football, only undefeated team in college football, 13-0, winning the Big Ten, dusting off Ohio State 13-10 in the Big Ten championship. And a lot of people's, like, hey, man, they got a little something there, man. And y'all, Alabama not going to be able to hold up, man. They, y'all on a different class of teams than them. And I'm like, have you met us with our 18 titles? Have you met us? Now, I know that's a lot of that's with Nick Saban and some of the earlier eras. This is the Caleb DeBoer era. So I got to always look at the Alabama Crimson Tide from that lens. No, not the lens of previous administrations. I do feel like Alabama is going to play very well in this game because nobody thinks they got a shot. So I am going to roll with my Alabama Crimson Tide. They're going to shock the world. And they're going to come back with the victory and move to the college football semifinals. I got the Alabama Crimson Tide in that game. What say you, TK?
You already know Alabama Crimson Tide.
All right, man. Now, where you live, I want you to talk your ish when they win, if they win. Because I know there's a lot of people down there, they give you a lot of guff for pulling for them. Talk your stuff. When you see them at your work outings, talk your stuff, TK. Don't let them talk you into a corner. Talk your stuff.
I got it handled, man.
Got it handled. Hold it down for us, man. Hold it down for us. Well, look, man, that wraps up a week 17 TK Uncle Fred Uncle Pick'em show. And for the year 2025, man, we got one more of these things left. And it's all over. Oh, my bad. It ain't all over because you know what? We're going to pick the playoffs and we're going to pick the college football playoffs. So as much as you want to, you can't get rid of me and him. You may want to, but we here. You can't get rid of us. We'll be right back picking the NFL playoffs and the college football playoffs. So, look forward to seeing my ugly face and his pretty face. You're going to be seeing them a lot more all the way up until the new year. So get used to us. All right. Any parting words, TK?
None other than the usual, man. Everybody enjoy your Sundays, your Saturday nights, your football days in general. Just enjoy this time, man, while we got it.
That's it, man. That's it. And I would be remiss if I didn't say before I signed off, Happy New Year to everyone. The next time you see us, it's going to be 2026. So Happy New Year. I wish all good tidings and everything for everybody as you go into this new year, and hope you take everything from 2025 and Just push that to a side. You got a new year to work with, and make 2026 all that you hoped and dreamed it could be, man. So happy New Year to everybody that's watching and rocking with your boy TK and yours truly, Uncle Fred. Happy New Year from the Uncle Fred and TK standpoint. And we'll see you guys next week, man. We'll catch you guys in the next video, man. Y'all take care. God bless.